Welcome back to Redstone with Dave
and Baker. So it's almost the exact same thing. And here's where it gets a little funky. And this still works.
Wow.
And if you notice, if I break that, no longer works. Redstone block, or redstone dust, sorry. And it works now.
Okay. I have a question here. So,
Yes.
just if we could back up a step, the reason that, okay, what exactly is the reason that if I place a block here, it extends? Like what's sensing the block exactly? Is that part of a command block, or is that just or is that just, you said that was survival mode? So, oops.
It is. This is in survival mode. So this
Okay.
green thing is a slime. There's nothing. This is survival. So I mean,
Right.
I can build one of these right now.
Right. Okay, so it's just a type of piston, or it was?
So I've just made one. So this is a
Okay.
sticky piston. The piston on the bottom is a sticky piston.
Okay.
So to try to explain again why this happens, basically when I update it, and I'll use this redstone block so you can see it a little better. When I update it, this piston is powered.
Gotcha.
So imagine that this redstone block is empowering it. So this would just be one step. So now it's extended this whole thing up by one block.
Okay.
Because it's now 2 blocks away from this bottom piston part.
Yeah.
It's now out of range. The redstone block is now out of range to power the piston.
I see. Okay.
So then as soon as it's out of range, because it's extended, it retracts again. And so it resets itself.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Now that this redstone block is out of range, it would retract.
Okay.
And so that just happens really quickly when you update it.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
I thought this was kind of neat. So this is pretty weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then if you know, I go a little bit further. So basically, redstone has some pretty funky properties when you're dealing with this. So basically, redstone 1 block away, not blocks, but redstone dust or redstone torches, I'll do this so it's easier for you to see, will also update this. So because redstone technically tries to power all of the blocks around it, this block becomes powered air. Okay. So redstone basically updates all of the blocks next to it, because normally something like redstone or a redstone torch, which I am going to be grabbing, tries to power all of the blocks around it whenever you place it. Right?
Right.
And so this air technically becomes powered for a second. It doesn't, obviously, if I have this here and I place this, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't power this dust. But that powered air, and powered air is such a silly term, but I'm just using it so that you can imagine it a little bit better.
Yeah.
The piston gets an update from that.
I see. Okay.
So then the piston gets updated. It says like, okay, I've just been updated. I need to check a couple of things. Am I powered? Oh, hey, there's this block above me. I am powered. I need to extend. Once it extends, that counts as another update because the piston extending changes it into a new type of block, an extended piston.
Okay.
So now it becomes a piston that's extended. And then now that it's extended, it says, hey, I've just gotten an update. Am I powered? No, I'm not. I am not powered. There's nothing within range to power me because this redstone block is too far away. So I need to retract.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. I got it.
And so in this case, it's just sort of like funny to see this. Like,
right. Because that's an update. I gotcha.
Yeah. So placing this redstone dust does nothing. Or placing it, nothing. Breaking it does something. Place again, does stuff. Break, does stuff. This doesn't do anything. That does something. It's just really weird. You have to fiddle around.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like you just have to play around with it to get a feel for that. But I definitely get the concept.
So to elaborate, this redstone dust is updating, and because it's updating, it can power this piston even though it's because it's 2 blocks away. It's within that range to update it.
Right.
So this still works, right? So that's just sort of like examples of quasi-connectivity, which is just like how this signal can still update blocks more than 1 block away.
Okay.
So then we'll get into the limitations of this, which is that for the most part, this can only travel down. So I will turn on our magic lever to constantly be updating this piston. So this piston is not being directly touched by any of the levers. So I'll break these blocks so you can see that even better. There is no lever that is actually touching this piston, and there's no redstone dust here either. So if you notice, this one triggers it. It's above it. This one triggers it. It's above it. This one does not. This one does not. So it travels down, but not sideways or up.
I see. Okay.
So you can flick these, and then if you notice, if you turn that off, this no longer works. So if I do that, this piston was just having a funky day. Just a second. There we go. And so if I do this and then put a block there, it extends, retracts. All right?
Okay.
So nothing because none of it's powered. Still not powered. Still not powered. And now it's powered. And so this does nothing because it's still being powered by the lever. If I turn off the lever and update it again, it retracts.
Okay.
And so this little magic lever over here, ta-da, just does that for us so that we can see it a little bit better because it's just constantly updating the piston for us.
Got it.
All right. So now we'll move on to the next one.
Redstone triggers buds.
Which I already explained, and this is just sort of like a good example of it. So even though this redstone is more than 1 block away, it still turns that on. This does nothing, but now that it's unpowered, it updates. And if you notice, I power it, and no matter what I do to this now, the piston doesn't update because it's still being powered by the lever, right?
Right. Okay.
And then turn that off. Oh, let's give the piston an update. Can you see me placing that redstone? I might have been blocking it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, cool. So that's just a pretty quick one. It's just a sort of more explanation of the thing I did over there.
Gotcha.